The year was 1773, and the colonists were angry. Without colonist representation in the government, Britain had again imposed yet another tax on the colonies. This time, they had erected a tax on tea. Although this was infuriating to many colonists, it was especially angering to the Sons of Liberty in Boston, Massachusetts. However, this wasn't the first tax on the colonists. There had been many taxes prior to the tea tax. The colonists used many methods to try and change the taxes, or at least show Britain their disapproval, but the method they used against the tea tax was one of the most impactful. This event would go down in history as an impactful form of protest, a night to remember. The Boston Tea Party was about to occur, and everything was about to change. Hello, could you tell us your full name?
My name is John Hancock.
Could you tell us about your experience with the British?
Yes, the British need to be stopped. The taxes keep increasing, even when we show our disapproval. We have no representation in Parliament, yet we still get taxed. At one point, we didn't even control our own homes.
Have you tried anything to change this?
Yes, I am a part of the Sons of Liberty, and this is our main goal. So far, we have protested, boycotted taxed goods, and have used other more violent methods for protesting, such as tarring and feathering officials and held violent protests.
Were any of these successful?
Us boycotting goods led to the Stamp Act, and other taxes being repealed. However, while none of these other methods worked as well, they still brought attention to our movement.
Thank you. All of these methods, aside from the boycotts, were acts of civil disobedience. These purposefully broke laws to show the British government their disapproval. Other methods of protest the colonists used were anti-British writings, like Common Sense, written by Thomas Paine in 1776, which persuaded more people to want to split away from the British. Hello, could you tell us your full name?
My name is James Array.
What has your experience with the colonists been like?
Those traitors! We protect them in the French and Indian War, and this is how they repay us? All we ask from them is a few taxes to help us with money and build back the army in the colonies. They aren't even asked to pay as much as people back home in Britain.
What have they done to anger you?
Many treasonous acts. They broke into our houses, threatening to murder myself and other British officials, and even attacked and tortured us by tar and feathering. They have also refused to buy the products and protested violently, all because we asked for a small tax.
Did any of this change the laws?
Well, while boycotts did lead to some of the taxes being repealed, this in no way shows that the colonists can resist British rule. They are our loyal subjects, and they should be expected to pay taxes. This violence proves even more that the colonists need to be punished and controlled.
A colonist mentioned that they were angry because they had no representation in Parliament. Anything to say about this?
They should need representations. As our subjects, they need to trust in the government and obey.
Thank you. The British were angry because the taxes they were asking for were to pay for the cost of protecting the colonies. The taxes weren't even as much as the taxes the British in England had to pay. However, the colonists didn't have representation in the court, making them feel the taxes were unfair. December 16th, 1773. Because of the tea tax, men in the Sons of Liberty wanted to show the British their unappreciation for the tax in a large way. They had a plan. At around 7 to 10 p.m. on December 16th, the men dressed up as Native Americans and snuck aboard a ship that was carrying tea. The ship they snuck aboard was a storage ship carrying crates of tea from Britain to Boston. This ship, called the Dartmouth, was captained by James Hall and was docked in Boston Harbor. Once aboard the ship, colonists took crates of tea and threw them overboard. Overall, approximately 342 crates of tea were thrown overboard, resulting in over $500,000 to $1 million of damage in today's money. However, Britain saw this with much anger. They passed the Coercive Acts, which closed Boston Harbor until the tea was paid for. While the tea tax wasn't repealed until during the Revolution, the Boston Tea Party was influential in many ways. It showed the British how serious they were about getting rid of the taxes and how much they were willing to do to get rid of them. It also showed the other colonies that Boston was willing to fight, and therefore it motivated other colonists to join in. Hello again. Could you tell us what happened on December 13th, 1773?
For us, the Sons of Liberty, it was a wonderful night. We were able to express our displeasure with these taxes by dumping crates of tea overboard. Although we now have another act to protest, the Coercive Acts, we were able to stand up to the British and do some damage.
Do you find that it was worth it, having your harbor closed?
Yes, By doing this, we showed the rest of the colonies that we were willing to sacrifice things to fight for what we wanted.
Thank you. Hello again. Could you tell us about December 13th, 1773?
Treason. The 13th was the night of treason. Treason against the king and violence against the merchants. Those horrible people cost innocent merchants so much by throwing tea overboard. They've shown us that we need to be more controlling. They need to learn this is not okay.
Do you think this event will have an impact on the colonies?
Yes, but not in the way the colonists want. Instead of giving them less rules, we will pass another act showing the colonists that they are still British subjects and cannot defy our rule.
Thank you. This event was the first major act of defiance by colonists. The Boston Tea Party became a catalyst which created the spark to start the American Revolution, a war for political independence and freedom.